What's good, and welcome to another ByteThatLure video. Today we are in Fishing Planet, and we're going to be doing a Clubs Explained. I've seen a lot of videos out there, and they don't really do justice to why you should get in a club and what clubs are about, so I thought I would make one here. So starting off with kind of why you should join / make a club, there is extra XP to be made here. And not a lot of people talk about this, but you can cook with extra XP, and that is by making a club room. Now, what is a club room? Any pond you happen to be in, pond, lake, whatever, river, you can go in here and create a club room from the, rooms tab, or in the clubs and create club room. But you have to be at that area, and for other people to join the club room, they also have to be at that area. They already have to have traveled there. And you can make some good XP off this. I will have a clip that'll either throw in like right here or at like the end of the video of me with a couple people. And up to 4 other people with you is what I've heard. I've only had, I think, 3 at one point with me at once. But I think it caps off there. So you don't have to push for, the full 20 people, which is what your full... membership or your full club can hold, sorry. So from that huge extra XP, you can basically match Barbless from what I've seen almost. It's at least pretty close. So it is definitely worth it to get into a club. Other ways to make XP, as you can see right here, someone has requested large minnows. Now what we kind of have going on in the club, let's see if we can find one here. Bread is usually what we have people requesting, because every time you donate, you get 10 XP. And now that does seem small, and you can only do it once per each. So say we donate to his, so we will do it right now. Donate a bread, and we just got 10 XP. And then we can't do it again. You can only donate 1, bait per request. But we can request each time. So like I just requested bread, and I can do it again in an hour. And we'll go more into the requesting and stuff here in a second. Another way, like I said, you can just keep popping off with that XP, because every hour, you have 20 people. Say you get your club full, and everyone is just requesting bait every hour. That 10 XP grows pretty quickly, and that can help super big in the early stages for levels, and even into the later ones, especially with the club room bonus XP per fish. So moving forward, you can also request marks. So we're at St. Croix Lake, and you say you're trying to find the brown trout. You can request marks for the brown trout, and people can show you their marks. Very good stuff. Other than that, moving forward, joining versus creating the club. There is, obviously you might see the clubs tab and you look into it, and it is 50 grand to make that club. Moving into it though, if you see, all your club settings and stuff like that, it can, be very evident to get into one early, because it costs even more than what you'd think with the logo, which you have to make to put in there. And each one of these is going to run you up. I can basically click on the second ones to show you what it'll be minimum. So like 450 or 45, sorry. Plus that 50,000. So you at least need like 55,000. I think it's even more when you are making like the logo for the first time. So you definitely want to get in one early, because you can leave anytime. So you could go into the club lists, and look for one that has minimum requirement level 1. Try and get in there, and then you can, especially if it's a poppin' one, because then you can get people kind of into it. But that runs into where the problem of why you want to create one, so you have actual control over this. So not to be, terrible with it, but if we do get full and there are some members who just aren't on for a couple weeks, or just aren't hitting the lakes that we are hitting, we may have to let them loose, because it's super easy to just go into a public room, and you'll see tons of people who aren't in a club say who wants to make extra XP, and they'll be like, I'm listening. That's how I've made all my members, is just by, telling people what's good, because there isn't really a lot of information about how much XP you can bang out with these. And being in control is super important. Another quick detail, I guess. You can promote someone to be a vice president so that they can also, invite people and accept requests from people to join. That's the whole problem of, if you say you join someone else's level 1 minimum, but they're not really an active player in the club, you can't get anybody else in the club because they have to accept those requests and send out those invites unless you can convince them to promote you, but that's a whole other thing. So I do recommend trying to pop off. I basically did it to test, and it seems to totally be worth it to get some extra XP early on, especially if you're banging out, maybe hitting big wheel spins, have some extra cash. You're maybe just hitting emerald. That's what I was doing. Like I said, make one so you have control. You can invite up to, 20 people, and that is 20 times a day. So you realistically could hit, emerald and invite 20 people just so you have that maximum all the time. You keep creating that club room and getting as many people in. And then maybe you move to St. Croix, and say none of your people are heading there. You could kick them all out and do the same exact thing. Well, that's kind of rude, but, some people you may have to get rid of. It's just the way she goes to keep it popping. And of course, with the bait stuff, this is another one I could have mentioned earlier, I guess. You can request any bait. So even stuff I don't have access to, I can't scroll through it, but, say squids, you can scroll all the way down to. And if you have someone high enough level in your club, you can, get squids off them or get rare stuff. So it is important to also have control, so you can maybe find someone who's super high level but isn't in a club, convince them to get in and start throwing everyone squid baits or, crazy stuff to get ahead of the game. So like I said, 20 people, and you can do that 20 times a day. So today I could invite 20 people, and then that'll hit my request limit. And then tomorrow I can hit the request limit. But what you could also do is tell people to basically, request to join the club instead of sending them like an invite to the club. They can request from you to join. And that's just by, right-clicking on like your name and, like in here you can click on these, the lists. You just popped one off, or not right-clicking, left-clicking. And then you can invite to club, and then, or request to join someone's club, stuff like that. Some other little tips, I guess, is that there are no club tokens. A lot of people see it and they're like, oh, I can pop off with club tokens. I see videos about club tokens. But no, as of like a year or two ago, apparently, there is no club leagues coming soon. The only way to get club tokens is to get, like money packs. I believe like club enthusiast pack gets you 3,000. I don't know if that's even worth it, you know what I mean, in terms of what you could maybe buy with them. Something that's very important, if you are making a club, and I can't stress this enough, make sure you have all the details correct of everything you want set. Because, as you can see, I could have popped off a little bit harder, and then required level, you do want to kind of sauce around with this a bit, because it's hard to determine what you want. If you set it to level 1, you might get flooded with level 1s, but it kind of doesn't really matter. So I think I should have set mine to level 1, because you can deny people, you know what I mean? You're choosing to invite who you want, so the level requirement doesn't really make much sense. So I believe you should set that to level 1, and make sure you have all these details correct, because the second you try to change anything, it costs you 99 bait coin. Anything, any of these details. So say you mess up one grammatical mistake, one letter of something important, your title, it costs 99 bait coin to change it. And, you don't want to spend your bait coin on that. So make sure you get everything correct. The logo, like, you can save up for these bigger, kind of crazier things, but I really don't need to or recommend doing it. Especially if you're just doing it for the XP, that cash kind of stuff. Maybe once you hit like San Joaquin, you have incredible amounts of money, then you can start to sauce around with this a bit. But other than that, I wouldn't really mess with it. That basically covers everything. if there's any questions about how clubs work, and or if you want to join my club, you know, ByteThatLure YouTube, go ahead and send a request. Like I said, we're around St. Croix right now, heading to San Joaquin soon. But you never know where you might catch us. Yeah, so go ahead and check out clubs. Like I said, I recommend creating your own, unless, you know, you have try and get some buddies together. My friends are obviously thankful that I'm the one who kind of went in for the test to see how it works. And like I said, if I haven't already thrown in that clip of me just getting some bonus XP off of it, I'll throw it in now. Otherwise, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Like I said, if you have any questions about clubs and stuff like that, if you want to join my club, go ahead and send me your request. And make sure to hit that little notification bell so you know when future content's coming out. And otherwise, thanks for watching. Peace.